The accounts of the Anunnaki are an integral part of the creation process, and that the kemetic cosmological argument offers the oldest and scientific explanation or narrative about creation. Correct hermeneutics implies that this scientific explanation must lead our understanding of the various accounts of the Anunnaki.
Welcome to the channel Zilaloga of Dr. Yaluka. To begin, please subscribe and tick the notification bell in order not to miss our videos. Thank you for joining.
Hi everybody, welcome to my video series on the Anunnaki. The title of the second part of the series is Scientific Creation and the Different Accounts of the Anunnaki. The various accounts of the Anunnaki beg the question of how to explain their differences. I have shown in my previous video that nature offers out the oldest and more scientific account about divine science, which include the oldest narrative about creation. When the scientific explanation is replaced by a myth, original facts are forgotten, allegories become facts, speculation settles, and precision is lost. This trend is accentuated by the fact that, except for African traditional religion, which in its higher strand is an exact science, all the religions of the world are mere systems of belief, where scientific facts are replaced by myths. The accounts of the Anunnaki are an integral part of the creation process, and that the kemetic cosmological argument offers the oldest and scientific explanation or narrative about creation. Correct hermeneutics implies that this scientific explanation must lead our understanding of the various accounts of the Anunnaki. Now, about natural cosmogony, let me first introduce here the account of creation according to the kemetic cosmological argument. That is, according to the natural divine science. The starting point in cosmogony, that is, in the account of creation, is the fall of humanity. To explain this fall, one of the key elements is the doctrine of free will. We have seen in the previous video that the Most High is absolutely immutable, and that he includes potential and effective creator or children of God that are about the manifestation of his fullness, the Logos. From these premises, the free will can be explained in the following manner. The Most High's expression of his fullness in the child of God is an act of love, expressing infinite love to an infinite number of children. The Most High must be love, the principle of love. Being absolutely immutable, Most High cannot deprive his child of his love. Therefore, the Most High is eternally loyal to the child, expressing a quality of truth, which is loyalty to an infinite number of children. The Most High must be truth. the principle of truth. Being love and truth, the Most High has incidentally endowed his children with free will. The bad exercise of free will in the eternal heaven is an act of turning away from the indivisible glory of the Most High. Thus, the child of God falls in darkness and chaos. However, the fallen child of God cannot be annihilated. Otherwise, the absolutely immutable Most High must change relationally, which is impossible. Thus, the fallen child of God becomes a non-incarnate spirit groping in darkness and chaos. Speaking of this non-incarnate spirit, the Bible says, the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. The word God here means fallen children of God. Like in Psalm 82, verse 6, I said, you are God. You are all children of the Most High. This brings us to the descent of the Creator. Having deprived themselves of the manifestation of the fullness of the Most High, the Logos, the inward activity of the divine, the fallen children of God cannot save themselves. Hence, the necessity of the descent of the Creator to get them out of darkness and chaos. Due to the exercise of free will, the light offered by the Creator will be met by three kinds of responses. Firstly, unreserved acceptance by those I call the children of light. And secondly, total rejection by those who consequently will become the demons. Thirdly, mitigated reception by those that I will call the humanoids. According to their exercise of free will, the third group will also witness two extreme elements: the spiritually minded group and the materialistically minded one. To go further, let me explain the nature of the temporal universe, its composition, according to the kemetic cosmological argument. When one speaks about the temporal universe, the Western materialistically minded think only about the Earth and its cosmos. While the Kemetic cosmological argument, in conformity with ancient Egyptian and Sumerians, includes in the temporal universe the Earth and its cosmos, and beyond its accompanying seven heavens outside of the cosmos, that is, outside of the material realm. We have seen in the video part 1 that reality is spiritual and that the material is only an appearance. Being the real, the spiritual cannot be in its appearance, the material. That the seven heavens are not within our cosmos. This is also what is expressed by the ancient Egyptian affirmation that soul, the spiritual is not in the body, the material. Like the radio waves emitting on the same space without confusion, because each one has its precise wavelength. All the heavens and the earth are here and now, but each in its particular state of consciousness. If one can elevate his consciousness thanks to the purification of thoughts, he can see the holy ancestors walking with us here and now. But for the sake of clarity, I will represent the highest plane separately as follows. Before the beginning of a creation, we have only the subplanes A and B, which constitutes the eternal heaven. C, D, and E constitute the seventh heaven. B and C constitute the intermediary plane between the eternal heaven and the seventh heaven. E is the higher subplane of the intermediary plane between the seventh heaven and the sixth heaven. A is the realm of good, and B is the realm of evil. Without evil, free will cannot be exercised. However, real evil cannot exist in the eternal heaven due to its absolute transcendence. Therefore, evil exists only potentially and in what the ancient Egyptians called the noon, the zone B, the subplane of potential existence. Potential evil allows the exercise of free will by vindicating God at the same time as not being the cause of evil. The fallen children of God, who by their bad exercise of free will make evil go from potential state to a manifest one, are the creators of evil and must assume its consequences. Since, according to the kemetic cosmological argument, all reality is in God and is good, the fall as the descent into the noon is like a common non-lucid dream, a nightmare. Having not sinned, the creator cannot be reduced to a potential state. Hence, his descent turned the zone B from the noon into a zone of limited manifestation of good, a lucid dream. Since B has ceased to be a zone of potential being, the fallen children of God, reduced to a state of potential existence, cannot abide anymore there. Thus appear the temporal zones of existence, the temporal plans of existence. These the ancient Egyptians explain how the separation of the now manifest evil from the eternal heaven by the Logos. According to the Sumerians, before the fall, the waters of eternal heaven and the water of the earth were mingled. What means water here? The BUKôNGO, the Congo religion, explains that the holy ancestors abide in water, Mpemba. However, this is not a literal water because the holy ancestors abide with the initiates here and now. Thus, we learn that water means a state of consciousness. Thus, we learn from the Sumerians that before the fall, the consciousness of good and the consciousness of evil were mingled in the eternal heaven. And we now know that the reason for this is that evil was only potential and the free will needed to be a real endowment. By the time the descent of the Creator called the zone B to become a zone of limited manifestation, as the fullness of the Most High, the Logos impeded limited evil to be manifest in the zone B. Thus, the Logos separated the two states of consciousness of our waters, as can be seen in the Nut Shu Gap Egyptian scene. Thus, the Logos caused the zone C and D to appear. This separation brought the descent of the fallen children of God on the subplane C. At the Creator's command, let there be light. Those who accepted light without reserve remained on the zone C and started their ascension back to the eternal heaven. They are the children of light. Those who totally rejected light fell on the subplane D as demons. The humanoid who didn't accept light in all its effulgence fell also on the subplane D. The cohabitation of demons and humanoids on the subplane D is the stage of creation called by the Sumerian creation of chaos. Having not misused his free will, the Creator could not quit the eternal celestial plan. He could not go below the line L. That the settlement or the confusion due to the descent of the demons and the humanoids on the same subplane can only be the work of the descent of the children of light in the subplane D. Therefore, the kemetic cosmological argument demonstrates that creation requires the descent of the Creator, followed by the descent of children of light. Thus, the descent of a divine being, followed by the descent of children of light, is the double process that will persist down to the creation of the earth. Following my hermeneutic line, I will establish in the next video the existence of two kinds of Anunnaki. The divine Anunnaki, or the children of light who descended to settle the confusion on the subplane D. and the demonic Anunnaki, all the fallen children of God who fell on the zone D due to their total rejection of the light wrought by the Creator. I will show also the difference between solar science, all the science of African traditional culture, and lunar science or the Western science. Welcome to my next video next Sunday. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share. More on this subject can be found on my books available at Amazon.